middle of the middle. So you appreciate that.
Has a chance to go down and contact this when you have a chance to suffer a serious injury, and we don't want that to happen to anybody we coach. You don't want to turn your head either. You don't want your neck turned sideways, where your head's getting bent sideways and getting those stingers. Those aren't any fun either. So we talk about being in a proper position on contact. So rarely does a ball carrier come straight at you. And even if he did, we would, if Chris were coming straight at Tim, we'd still want to put our head on the ball. We wouldn't put it right down the middle of the guy. We'd want the head on the ball, trying to knock it out. So you can see his back's at 45, his head, eyes are up naturally. And as he makes contact, he's going to wrap. He's going to wrap the ball carrier. Now, there's some people try to wrap right below the buttocks, try to get the legs. I know Penn State teaches a technique similar to that. And that's fine, but you've got to wrap and grab something. It isn't a matter of just hitting the guy. Ball carriers today are talented. They're going to bounce off, they're going to spin, and if you get in a great position and you hit him and wrap him, then he's not going to be able to bounce off or spin off you. Now, you have to use, I guess you would say, martial arts principles too. On contact, you're not stopping your momentum. You want to hit through the target. So as Tim hits, he rolls his hips and then runs his feet so that you're taking the momentum through him. What is force? Mass times acceleration. So the ball carrier's running at me. I don't want to stop and lose all my acceleration and let him have the mass and acceleration coming to me. So I have to hit, wrap, and drive. Now, once we teach this fundamental hitting position, then we have to learn how to be able to get in that position when we're moving. So if Chris backs up, why don't we turn around and go toward the guys? Tim, you get down there, Chris back here. All right, so let's say Chris is running at a 45-degree angle to his right. As Tim comes up, we need to be able to get in that position after I've run 3 or 4 yards. We always want the head in front of the ball carrier. So you can see Tim's head's right there. Because now as he hits Chris Maddie, he's hitting with his body, with his shoulder. If Tim gets his head behind him, now he's tackling with his left arm. And you're not going to stop many ball carriers with a left arm, unless you got the chance of your shoulder getting wrenched, getting hurt, but you're not going to be a very effective tackler. So we want to get the head across the bow and then do the same things we did. Same position, hit, wrap, drive. Now where it gets a little tricky is, start at the end there, Tim. Chris, go a little wider this time. Now you're pursuing in space. Now as Tim is pursuing to the ball, his angle is going to be critical. Because if he runs a big banana and just swoops out there and gets back up here, Tim, goes straight sideways and then come up, head up on Chris. Well, now Chris is just going to cut back because I gave him a two-way go. When we pursue, we want to pursue to limit where the ball carrier can go. So if he's taking a wide path like that, we want to come inside out. See the position of Tim's feet? They created a wall. There's no way that Chris Maddie can cut back. And so when he continues out there, Tim's momentum works in a positive manner and allows him to tackle him. But the key is that he limits where the guy can go by taking the proper angle. Now, there is an aggressive aspect to this in that you've got to learn how to be confident in going and tackling somebody. Because if you come out there and you're cautious and you stop your feet, so Chris goes out there and Tim is too worried about missing him and he stops. Now Chris has moves, he has places he can go, and you can't be a good tackler if you're cautious. By the same token, if Tim McGargle is sprinting full speed out there, and as he gets right there, he's in full stride, Chris Maddie can cut on him because Tim is not in a balanced under control body position. We don't use the term breakdown because we don't want them to think we're going to stop. But we do have to shorten our stride, get our feet under us so that we can move. So as Chris goes, Tim sprints, he shortens his stride. He didn't slow down. He didn't get his weight back on his heels. He kept his shoulders over his toes, his body balanced so that he can adjust and move slightly as Chris makes his move. This is not an easy thing to do, man. We made tremendous improvement from 2007 to 2008 because our tackling improved dramatically. We were a good tackling team in 2009. Last year, we were inconsistent on defense because we were inconsistent tackling. It's tough to put all this into 10 minutes, but if you do get the opportunity to come up and watch us practice, you will see us doing tackling drills every day. Real quickly, the first thing we do, get up here, Tim, get back here, Chris, is we teach, well, get up real close, we teach a form of a form tackle. So Chris Batty's going to run to the right. Tim's taking one step in tackling, getting into that good position, learning how to do it from one step. And then we back him up 2 steps. Now there's a little more momentum, and we'll go right and left so that he has to go and get in that same position, learn to roll his hips, keep his eyes up, and then we'll expand it back to a 5-yard gap. So now he's got a little more space that he has to function under. But you got to learn how to move, get in that position and tackle. And then we will get approximately 12 yards apart. Not quite, we'll go a little wider than the hash to the sideline. And then tell Chris, all right, you go out there and give us a move. He can cut in, you can fake in, go out. So now Tim has to learn how to take that inside out angle and then get in great body position and hit. When you have that much space, we're not going to expect a bone-crushing hit, but we want to get the guy down. Because if we don't get him down, it doesn't matter how hard we try to hit him. So you must learn how to, so we think that the position of the head, the body on contact, that technique is critical. Then we got to learn how to take the right angle of the ball. And then we have to learn how to get in a balanced, controlled position where we can adjust to a little move that he makes. So it's not an easy skill, but it's something that we're going to continue to practice and improve on. If you get a chance to come to a practice, you can see some of this, and then we can show you or